All right, so everybody's getting into the big muscle, big horsepower game, right? Mercedes just released their all-new 802 horsepower Mercedes AMG S63. What makes this car special? They're keeping their bi-turbo V8 engine that they've had in all their other AMGs. They're just going to add a hybrid component on top of it, which is going to give it that extra 802 horsepower, right? They're not the only ones. Chevy, right? Chevy is going to be dropping their new Chevy Corvette C8 E-RAY. That's E as in Echo, Ray, in 2023. And guess what makes that special? They're keeping their same 6.2 liter V8, but they're also going to add a hybrid on top of it, a hybrid electric component on top of it. And that's going to give that car a little over 650 horsepower. Mustang is going to keep their naturally aspirated V8. Everyone's keeping their V8. Adding a little sauce, a little bit of seasoning on top of it. But they're still keeping their V8, except for, you guessed it, Dodge. Why? I don't know. Why are we going completely electric? I don't know. But let's get into the see what I'm saying? There you go. I can't even start the video off. Shout out to CarLock, man. They the real deal, man. Go ahead and get them holiday deals before they're all out. CarLock, link in the description, 10% off, 14-day free trial. You already know how it goes, guys. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. You can tell I'm in a car. That makes this a car vlog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's get into it, man. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you are in the right place for everyone else. Hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out, right? So it's cold as I don't know what, 27 degrees. I'm out here shooting this video in the car, but you know what? We got to do what we got to do. The reason I'm making this video, man, is because one of my subscribers sent this to me about Mercedes, because, you know, he said that I mentioned Mercedes a lot in my videos, and that's because eventually I want an AMG. Like, that's my, top of the line luxury car is Mercedes, especially the AMG variant when you get the big V8, the power, all that stuff. Well, Mercedes is going to be dropping some serious power in 2023, right? All new 802 horsepower Mercedes AMG S63. If you know anything about Mercedes, they're big, they're heavy because they're luxury cars. More than performance or speed or power, they're luxury cars. But when you're putting 802 horsepower under the hood of any car, that makes it a powerful luxury car. And that's exactly what this is. But the reason that this was interesting is because Mercedes is going to be keeping their 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine that they've had in all of their previous V8s that have powered their V8s. The one prior to this last year was putting down 633 horsepower. That was the bi-turbo V8. But now they want to squeeze out more power. And they realize that the only way to squeeze out that type of power without putting a 7-liter V8 monster engine in there is they've got to go electric. They've got to add some sort of hybrid component. And they're going to do that. They're going to add a 13.1 kilowatt lithium ion battery on top of that big 4-liter V8 engine that they've got under the hood of their Mercedes. And that's going to take it from 633 to 802, right? Now you got a luxury car that's putting down 800 plus horsepower and should be doing well over 190 miles an hour on the dash, right? And so I started doing some more research. Chevy, apparently in 2023 or 2024, they're going to be dropping their Corvette C8 E-RAY, right? E is an electric, Ray. And it's going to be a mid-engine C8, just like the most recent C8s or whatever. It's going to be a wide-body, high-performance hybrid model. It's going to replace the Grand Sport in the Corvette lineup, right? And guess what makes this unique? They're still keeping their 6.2-liter V8 LT2 engine, right? But they're going to add a hybrid electric component on top of that. 85 watts, which is an additional 115 horsepower, 111 pound-feet of torque, with some rumors that the electric motor will be able to spin to 16,000 RPM, which is going to give the total system a power of 650 horsepower. 345s all the way around. Big, huge car. Huge wide body joint. 345s in the rear, and I think they said 300s up front. So all of this leads me to, the point of this video where it's like, all of these cars are able to keep their V8s. You know what I'm saying? And just add a hybrid component on top of it. Add a battery powered, lithium ion battery component on top of it. And that's what took the Chevy Grand Sport from 450 horsepower to 650. And that's what took the Mercedes AMG S63 from 633 to 802. Can you imagine a hybrid component on top of a Hellcat red eye engine at 797 or 802? We're easily talking 900,000 horsepower if Dodge were somehow or another able to make that work. But no, Dodge doesn't want to do that. They want to be the first ones to a party where nobody is. They want to completely get rid of the V8, which makes no sense whatsoever. And we've talked about this. I'm not going to make a long video about how I feel, but if there's just one thing that I'm seeing, and then of course Ford is just doubling down on the V8, right? They just said, we'll just put a bigger one in there with more power, make it louder. You know what I'm saying? Even heavier. We don't care. Give them a better interior. Basically everything that we've asked for in the Chargers and Challengers since 2015. Give them a bigger engine, more power, and give them a better interior. Like, that's all we've asked for. We've never asked for our cars, like, sure, we want them to be lighter, more agile, but a lot of people like how big and heavy these cars are because, you know, when I get this car up to 140, 150 on the highway, it's planted. Like, it's heavy, it's big, but I'm not worried about the wind taking it. I'm not worried about losing control and spinning out because I know I'm planted. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine being in a Mazda Miata or something like that doing 150. Like, you know, the wind would just take me into a whole nother city. But why Dodge feels the need to get rid of the V8 altogether and be the first ones to go electric is beyond me. All they had to do was what these two manufacturers, Ford and Mercedes, are doing. Take that same V8 that you have, add a hybrid component on top of it that gives you more power, and it probably makes it even more efficient, right? Because now you've got a hybrid battery on top of a big V8. So to my understanding, now correct me if I'm wrong, I understand that with cars like that have a naturally aspirated engine and then a hybrid battery on top of it, to my understanding, like, you get a certain amount of miles that's electric, right? And then after that, that's when the engine kicks in. You know what I'm saying? So I remember one dude that I knew had a BMW, and it was a hybrid. And he said, like, his first 60 to 80 miles of driving on a full tank, full charge was strictly electric. And then everything after that was gasoline or, you know, gas powered, the engine. And that would be crazy to see that in a Hellcat Charger or Hellcat Challenger, where the first 50 to 60 to 70 miles that you put on it is strictly electric, and then it switches over to the V8 HEMI. That way, you get to keep the V8, you get to keep the iconic HEMI, you get to keep the iconic Hellcat engine, but you get to make it more powerful and more efficient, which should satisfy everybody because it satisfies us as car guys because it's still a V8, still should make that noise, right, that we all love. Still should give us that V8 power that we all love, that V8 feeling that we all love, that experience, right? But we're also adding a hybrid component, which should make it more efficient. Gas, which should make it more appeasing to the EPA and all of those, you know, legislative bodies and stuff like that on top that have to, you know, that Dodge has to answer to. It's a win-win situation, is it not? Like, imagine if you put this, you know, this hybrid engine that Mercedes is putting on top of theirs, on top of an 802 horsepower jailbreak Charger or Challenger. That's easily 900, 950 right there. 950 horsepower muscle car, 4 doors, that's getting 20 to 25, 30 miles to the gallon because of how good the hybrid system is. But it's still very much so a V8, but it's very much so a car of the future. I don't know why they couldn't go that route. I'm glad my subscriber sent this to me because it just kind of makes sense. Like, Dodge really could have went this route. And that way they would have been saving their name. And it would have been an easy transition. Like, imagine for the next 3 to 4 years, they give us the V8 hybrid. And then maybe a year or two after that, that's when they go completely electric, when the entire industry has gone completely electric. And that's when they fall right into, you know, right in the suit with their new electric muscle car. But you can't, you just went from, it was too extreme too soon. And you gave us 365 days to basically make a move. And that's why you got people out here now that's going crazy, trying to get their hands on a Scat or a Cat, you know, that's losing their mind because in their mind, they're thinking, I only got 365 days to get my dream car, or otherwise I'll never see it again. And you and I have obviously talked about that. That's not true. But, you know, I just don't understand why Dodge couldn't have done that. Why they couldn't have added that little component on top. Just put a hybrid battery, you know, whatever situation on top of a big Hellcat or a big 6.4 liter or a big 5.7 and call it a day. Didn't they do that with the Rams at one point? Didn't they have the Ram e-hybrid system or something like that where it was a 5.7 HEMI, but then it had a hybrid component on top of it or something? I'm pretty sure they did. I don't know why they couldn't have done that with the Hellcat and the Hemi, but I'm just, bringing this to you because this is what it should look like if you ask me. If Dodge really wants to move into the future, but they want to do it gracefully, this really could have been a way to do that. Keep that big V8, keep the Hemi, the iconic Hemi, keep the Hellcat, and just put a hybrid battery on top of it. That way you're satisfying all parties. You're giving us the power that we want, the V8 that we want, but you're also satisfying, the legislators and the laws and your boy President Biden, all that good stuff. But they didn't do that. They're going completely electric. And then they're going to give us a straight line, or inline 6 engine. I was about to say V6, but they're going to give us an inline 6 engine, which I'm not sure how well that's going to go over. I don't know. Don't get me to speculating, but I think it's going to be, I think Dodge may be done after 2023, but that's just my speculation. But talk to me, guys. Hellcat hybrid, 6.4 liter, 392 hybrid, 5.7 hybrid. It's got a ring to it. Talk to me. How do you feel about it, guys? As always, it's been your boy Knockout. I'm going to get out of here, man. Peace.